because one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find out the truth. And you know that I was finding out that truth. If I entertain something that I know is not true on the internet, people be like, oh, it is true because you're addressing it. But when I don't address it, it's true as well. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna entertain it. And at the end of the day, I know what's going on in my house.
Oh, Happy New Year's. He was like, Happy New Year's, I love you. Like, you've been killing this. Like, keep going, da-da-da. He's so, like, drunk that he misinterprets the call.
Y'all, it looks like Cardi B just dropped a whole bomb and it went nuclear. And y'all, we just can't unsee it. A naughty tape leaked involving Offset and Saweetie, and now Saweetie is suing for $50 million. Y'all better stay right here, because what you're about to hear is next level chaos. What did Cardi say? Be careful with me. Well, now get this. Rumors of Offset and Saweetie messing around while Cardi was pregnant have been circling around since 2021. Quavo's messy lyric, you wanted the gang, now it's got messy, fanned the flames, and Cardi didn't bite. She shut it down publicly, saying, I know what's going on in my house, and called that rumor crazy lies with no receipts. Now here's where it gets wild, because Joe Budden just revived the whole saga on his podcast. Offset didn't just deny the cheating, he basically said, are you wrong? Then DJ Akademiks joined the chat and started dropping names like Saweetie, Ari Fletcher, and even Chrisean Rock. And guess what Saweetie's hitting him with? A $50 million lawsuit claiming defamation and emotional damage. That part, y'all. And y'all, nobody really saw that coming, but when that money gets slow, them lawsuits start to roll. And Saweetie, we ain't heard from you in a while, sis. So it looks like she got to get that money. But before that $50 million headline shook the internet, the Offset Saweetie rumor had already been living rent-free in hip-hop gossip since like late 2021. And y'all know why, because it wasn't just a cheating rumor, it was a family betrayal rumor. See, back then, Saweetie was fresh off of her breakup with Quavo after 2 years of flashy couple goals and Birkin bags and icy gifts and everything Instagram dreams are made of. But in March 2021, TMZ dropped that infamous elevator video of them tussling over a Call of Duty case. That clip alone made the breakup messy. But what came after? It was nuclear. Weeks later, the internet accused her of sleeping with Offset while he was married to Cardi. The claim came from an unnamed industry insider. No photos, no text, no hotel sighting, just vibes and chaos. But because Offset has a documented history of cheating, Cardi even filed for divorce over it in 2020 before reconciling. So that rumor spread faster than Offset could drop a verse. Then in October 2022, Quavo and Takeoff dropped their joint album Only Built for Infinity Links, and track number 4, Messy. That's where Quavo rapped, BF my dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing, not at all. You wanted the gang, you should have said it. We would have blessed it. We would have blessed it. Now it's got messy. Well, that one line was all the internet needed. My dog plus the gang equals Offset in a fan conspiracy mad. Quavo denied it later, saying that people were just overthinking, but the seed was planted. And the Migos split shortly after, with Quavo hinting in interviews that loyalty was broken. But by 2023, the rumor had gone cold a bit, until Offset reignited it like gasoline on a candle. Until the Joe Budden interview, and until DJ Akademiks reignited it like gasoline on a candle. This man went on Twitch after Offset's Joe Budden podcast interview and went off. His exact words, Offset F Chrisean, Ari Fletcher, Saweetie, and 10 B's from Starlets.
Offset them, what is it? Saweetie, Chrisean Rock, Ari, like, this is, Offset was piping out chicks that Cardi was supposed to do music.
He claimed Offset was smashing women who were literally leaving "I love you, queen" comments under Cardi's IG post. He even said some of them were Cardi's own friends. Now, Cardi's handled rumors before, and back when Selena Powell claimed that she was pregnant with Offset's baby, Cardi went full denial mode, but later admitted that she learned not to feed the lies with attention. In her own words, people gonna make you worse. But so in classic Cardi fashion, she tried to stay quiet in the Akademiks rant, at least publicly. But behind the scenes, fans believe that she went and started collecting receipts, and that's exactly what brings us to the alleged naughty tape leak. Because if insiders are whispering this is true, a leak wasn't accidental. It had to be giving revenge. It would have been calculated and meant to burn bridges in a way that no apology tour can fix. So after Akademiks dumped his Offset smash Saweetie list back into the gossip bloodstream, this whole saga could have just been another internet storm. But instead, it turned into a full wildfire because a video has allegedly surfaced. Now I have to be careful here because we can't show certain things on YouTube. But according to multiple industry insiders, Cardi B herself allegedly leaked what's now being called the naughty tape. And the stars of that tape allegedly Offset and Saweetie. Now if the rumors are true and whispers are telling what they need to be told, Cardi didn't just leak it for revenge. She allegedly wanted to kill two birds with one stone, humiliate Offset after years of public disrespect, and then make sure Saweetie's little good girl image took a fatal hit before her next album rolled out. But here's where that $50 million comes in. Saweetie isn't just clapping back with a subtweet, she's allegedly filing a lawsuit against both Offset and Cardi for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and what her team is calling a calculated career sabotage. This is where things go from messy to insane. Blueface jumped on X claiming that Chrisean Rock also hooked up with Offset, and not just once. This wasn't even new tea. He had hinted at it months ago during their back and forth baby daddy drama. But now dropping it alongside the Saweetie leak gave the internet exactly what it wanted, a crossover scandal. And y'all, fans are split. Some think Cardi leaking the tape is a wild move even for her and too risky legally. Others believe it lines up with her history of clapping back hard when betrayed. And remember, this isn't her first lawsuit dance. Back in 2022, she won almost $4 million from blogger Tasha K for defamation, proving that she's not afraid to fight in court, but also to play dirty when she feels cornered. So the moment this Saweetie news of a lawsuit hit gossip blogs, one name started trending right alongside hers, Quavo. And it wasn't just because of the old messy lyric. Sources close to the situation say Quavo might actually get called to testify if this lawsuit moves forward. That's where things could get real ugly. Now on paper, Quavo's not involved in the leak itself, but he is the ex-boyfriend who had a front row seat to how this whole rumor started. And industry insiders claim Quavo has been sitting on screenshots, group chat receipts, and even text messages back up his original suspicions from 2021 that Offset and Saweetie hooked up while he was still with her. Talk about messy. Well, Quavo always felt played. It even goes to show that on the stand, he would not be trying to protect Offset just because they were fake cousins. The trust been gone for years between them, but this is where it gets even more tangled. Saweetie's legal team is allegedly exploring whether they can also come after DJ Akademiks for defamatory amplification. Ooh, that's new. Basically, they're saying his repeated public claims helped cement a false narrative that damaged her brand. And y'all, this wouldn't be the first time that Axe Mouth landed him in a legal battle. Remember his beef with Meg Thee Stallion during the Tory Lanez trial? He was dropping so much exclusive info that her lawyers had to send him a cease and desist letter. Meanwhile, Offset hasn't exactly been on the best behavior through all this, because on that Joe Budden podcast, he took a swipe at Cardi's new romance with NFL star Stephon Diggs. None of my exes upgraded after me, and fans lit him up for that comment, especially considering the tape leak scandal had just resurfaced. And if Saweetie's lawsuit gains traction, that little soundbite might end up being replayed as court of proof of malice and ongoing tension. But here's the kicker. Legal insiders are now whispering that if this goes to trial, it could pull in even more names, from Blueface to Chrisean Rock, maybe even Quavo's current girlfriend, and the potential witness list. Y'all, let's just say it reads like the lineup for Rolling Loud. But if Saweetie's $50 million lawsuit actually makes it to trial, it's not just going to be Cardi and Offset sitting in that hot seat. This could turn into a courtroom festival of messy witness testimony, leaked receipts, and career-shaking confessions. But from what's been leaked so far, Saweetie's legal team is basing their case on 3 pillars. Defamation, claiming the leak falsely portrayed her and damaged her brand image, especially with major endorsement deals she was allegedly negotiating. 2. Intentional infliction of emotional distress, arguing that whoever leaked that tape did so with the intention to humiliate and emotionally harm her. 3. Economic damages, pointing to the alleged cancel contracts and performance opportunities due to the scandal. Well, her team allegedly already submitted early discovery requests for digital forensic evidence, meaning they want to pull IP addresses, email metadata, and cloud storage logs to prove Cardi or Offset was behind that leak. And industry insiders claim that Saweetie's lawyer has private messages between her and Offset that could prove intimacy did happen, something Offset has never outright admitted publicly. And if those messages were authentic and end up in court, it would confirm years of speculation and give weight to her claim that Cardi's motive was personal retaliation. But let's talk about the possible witness list, because this is where it could get insane. According to whispers, subpoenas could go out to Quavo for his knowledge of the original rumor and any receipts he's holding, DJ Akademiks for allegedly amplifying false claims, Blueface and Chrisean Rock for their own public statements about Offset's behavior. And if that list is even half true, we're talking about a trial that's going to have as much entertainment value as it does legal weight. And if the forensic evidence does tie Cardi to that leak, she could face both civil and criminal penalties. In California, non-consensual distribution of intimate images is a crime that can carry jail time. Even if the criminal angle doesn't stick, a $50 million civil judgment could be financially devastating, especially since Cardi's already been dealing with the Tasha K payment saga. Cause Tasha ain't giving up no coin, and Offset on the other hand had risks having his entire brand dragged through the mud. Labels don't like the scandal when it comes to potential legal payouts, and endorsement deals could evaporate overnight. But here's where it gets even more twisted. There's a rumor floating around that someone inside Cardi's own camp may have been the one who actually sent that tape out, meaning this could turn into a betrayal story on top of a revenge scandal. So here's the plot twist that nobody was expecting. Multiple unnamed insiders are claiming the leak might not have come directly from Cardi's own phone, but from someone close to her. According to an exclusive, a former assistant in Cardi's inner circle has been real quietly telling people at NYC industry events that they handled certain files for her, including intimate clips, and the one of those files somehow ended up in the wrong hands. Now, it's unclear if this assistant was fired, left on bad terms, or was just chasing clout, but if the story checks out, it opens a whole new can of worms. Cardi could still be liable if the leak can be traced back to her possession of the file, and Saweetie's lawyers could drag Cardi's team members into depositions, and it paints a whole new situation as not just revenge, but also a possible setup inside Cardi's own camp. Fans on X are split into camps. One side thinks Cardi might have been confiding in a trusted team member about the clip, and they went rogue for a payday or to hurt her. The other side believes this is a cover story that Cardi orchestrated the leak, but now needs a fall person to dodge legal heat. Well, interestingly, Offset hasn't said a word about the assistant angle. No denial, no jokes, nothing. The silence is feeding that speculation that he either knows it's true or that he's trying to not throw more gasoline on a burning building. But if Saweetie's team can show that someone in Cardi's circle has access to that file or shared it even without Cardi's direct instruction, it still strengthens their case. So under California law, negligent distribution can still qualify for civil liability if the person in possession didn't take reasonable steps to protect the material. But here's the real kicker, and there's chatter that another celebrity, someone who's publicly cool with both Saweetie and Cardi, might have been the middleman who passed the clip to gossip blogs. And if that name drops, then this trial could turn into the biggest celebrity betrayals of the decade. Y'all, so here's this middleman rumor. Word on the streets is the tape didn't go directly to Cardi's phone or her assistant to a gossip blog. Instead, an industry friend, someone who's friendly with both Cardi and Saweetie, allegedly played courier. Well, gossip detectives on the internet have now narrowed it down to two main suspects. A female rapper who's been on the same festival lineups as both Cardi and Saweetie the past year, a fashion influencer who moves in both women's PR circles and has a history of leaking private celebrity material to blogs for a cut of ad revenue. And if Saweetie's lawyers can prove a third party distributed that clip, then they can still tie it back to Cardi by showing that she was the original source, even if indirectly. That means Cardi wouldn't be able to claim, "I never sent it to Saweetie's enemies," as a defense if her inner circle did it for her. And this is where the conspiracy theories get crazy. Some fans think this middleman move was actually orchestrated by someone trying to pit Cardi and Saweetie against each other, to weaken both of their brands at the same time. Why? Well, think about it. Saweetie's been on the edge of a major label push for years, and Cardi's gearing up for her next album cycle, and if both are tangled in a scandal that makes them look petty, guess who benefits? Competition. And yes, some of those fan theories point point directly at female rap rivals who stayed strangely quiet about the whole thing. And that's why even though Saweetie's lawsuit is technically about a leak and defamation, this case could become the stage for years worth of varied grudges, industry rivalries, and personal betrayals to come spilling out under oath. But here's what's clear. Whether Cardi leaked that tape herself or an assistant went rogue or a so-called friend passed it along, the fallout is massive. Saweetie's $50 million lawsuit isn't just about money, it's about reputation, career survival, and making an example of for anybody who tried to take her down. Now for Cardi and Offset, this is a nightmare scenario. Cardi's already waiting on a multi-million-dollar judgment from a Tasha K case, and Offset's solo career is still finding its footing after the Migos, and now his name is back in the headlines, but for the wrong reasons. And if they settle, well, they'll probably never know the full truth, just like the original 2021 rumor. But if it goes to trial, y'all can bet that we're gonna see some text messages, some DMs, and witness testimony that'll make Messy sound like a children's lullaby. And if that middleman name drops in the open court, y'all, the internet will not survive the memes. But the real question is now isn't just whether Saweetie will win her case, it's will Cardi's inner circle turn on her? Will Offset throw Cardi under the bus to save himself? And will Quavo finally confirm the cheating rumor that started it all? Because if any one of those things happens, this won't be a celebrity scandal, it will be a career-ending chain reaction. But I gotta hear from y'all. Do you think that Cardi leaked them tapes on purpose? Or was this a setup from the inside? Or is somebody in the industry pulling the strings to keep both Cardi and Saweetie distracted? Y'all better drop your thoughts and comments below because this case is still developing and the details are getting messier by the day. Trust me, the next chapter in the story is coming and it's about to get even wilder. Make sure you hit that like button if you my best friend and you a real bad B. Hit the noti so you can see the next vid. Hit that bell, girl. I'm trying to see you on the next video.